everyone, and welcome back to your online class for franchising. This is your teacher, Mr. Manang Bernabe. I would like to welcome you for another video lesson that you are going to watch. So for today's video class, we're going to talk the different kinds of problems, opportunities, and chances of franchising. As we all know, class, that I have already given you the task on how to prepare a legal contract or a franchising contract with a certain company and the franchisor and the franchisee. Because as we all know that franchising, that includes the business owner or the so-called franchisor, grants the application of franchisee the legal rights to obtain the trade name, market, the service or goods, to operate the business with equivalent of a one-time fee. So there is a payment, of course. Then you get all the revenue from your own franchise. So this is the most typical questions that comes to our mind. What is franchising? So as we all know, based on your assigned task and the midterm task that I have given you how to prepare the legal documents for franchising. So take note that franchising, the franchisor grants the application of the franchisee. So the franchisor class is the owner of the business or the owner of the trade name. He has all the legal rights. So the franchisee will apply to the franchisor to franchise the business, to buy the business, to buy the trade name. So if the franchisor grants the request or the application of the franchisee, so that's the time that you will going to franchise the business or you're going to use the name of the business. So for today's video lesson, we are going to talk the different kinds or ways on how to franchise the business. For your final task, please watch the video until the end because I'm going to mention what you are going to do and what you are going to prepare for your final task. So sit back and relax so we can start our video lesson. Maybe it is not possible for us to dream our franchise business. But before this, the first thing that comes to our mind, how much do we need to prepare to franchise a business? So the first topic that we are going to talk is how to finance a franchise with no money involved. Wow, that's good to hear. No money involved. How to finance the business? So as we all know, class, that when we going to franchise a business, it needs money or there is a money involved because you need to pay some fees that requires the franchisor. And of course, we know that each business venture needs money to start rolling, or you may have some savings now but it is not yet enough. So what if the franchising business you have always wanted suddenly give a better deal for a sort of period of time? So may mga deal, kumbaga may mga promo, kumbaga. So perhaps there is a so-called 50% discount on their franchising fee. Will you grab it? It depends if you decide to franchise the business. Maybe the franchisor is showing more inclusion on the franchise package. Baka marami siyang idadagdag ng mga packages sa binibili mo o pina-franchise mong business. So will you be able to pass the good opportunity? Or of course not, because we are dreaming to have a franchise business. Sabi pa nga, time is gold and it comes to business opportunity, there are only 5 ways to fund your dream franchise venture. Are you ready? Are you ready that 5 ways on how to finance your business venture? So for your final class, let's talk this. The first way to franchise your dream venture business is, of course, we have the so-called bank loans. So bank loan class is typically known for the strict requirements. Of course, bank will not release money as easy as ABC in one text or in one transaction. Bank strictly a lot of requirements. The list can go on, including collaterals and co-makers. So collateral that involves your house and lot or land title. So these are some of an example of collaterals. Add to that more requirements you have to submit. The longer it will take for the bank to verify all your documents. Minsan may mga pa-CI pa. So, medyo may mga katagalan. Pero, mas maganda naman sa bangko mag-loan kasi mababa yung mga interest kaysa mga lending station, mga lending companies. So, bank loan class, the process alone takes a few days. If you get your loan approval, of course, it will take a few more days before you can get your cash. Not to mention that you also have to take leave from your work since banks requires submission of documents and forms in personal. So, correct. Because if you personally take your loan, the bank will require you to your presence to bring your documents, and there are also so-called some interviews. So this is the first one, bank loans. Next one is the so-called family and friends. So as Filipinos, we are all used borrowing cash from our family. Natural. Minsan nag-aaway nga dahil lang sa utang. Not only in our family, but also could be our friends and neighbors. The process is quick and smooth depending on how close you are to the person. Usually, there is no need to pay interest. However, you are putting your relationship into rest. That's true. Kaya sinasabi ko, minsan, nasisira yung samahan dahil sa utang. Dahil sa pera, nagkakasiraan yung mga magkakapamilya and friends and neighbors. Actually, depending nga, sabi pa nga kanina, depending on how close you are to your family or friends. Depende kung gaano ka-close sa isang tao. Kasi hindi naman basta-basta magpapautang sa isang tao kung di mo kilala. So, other ways, this can be happen, but again, you're putting into rest your relationship between friends and family. Because, take note, basta money involved, nagdidepende na ang relasyon. So, kung maganda kang magbayad, is you're a good payer, siguro wala namang maging problema at the end kung babayaran lang ang utang. So, that's the second option. We have to call our family and friends. So, next, number 3 is the so-called, the way ko know is to go to Pawnshops. So, what are these Pawnshops? Marami na tayong kilala class na mga Pawnshops all over our area. So, here in our area, we have the most top 3 pawnshop is already in our town. Not to mention, but then, alam natin kung ano yung word na pawnshop, sanglaan. So, ibig sabihin, pag the word sangla, may bagay ka na ilalagay muna, dideposito mo muna dyan, tapos may katumbas na halaga yan, kumbaga rate, kung magkano yung halaga, para ka makakakuha ng pera. Over the years, we have grown familiar with the word sangla. So we are also familiar with the risk of losing our valuable items if we fail to pay the loan on the time. So, mayroon tinatawag na maturity. So, pag hindi mo na nababayaran yung maturity, that means losing of your valuable items. For example, sinanglaan mo yung kwintas sa loob ng 3 buwan, ilan yung interest. Pag hindi ka mababayaran, hindi mo mababayaran yung interest na yan monthly, at saka yung principal amount, ito na yon, matatawag na yung item mo na rematado. So, pag marimatado na siya, that's foreclosure na. Yung pwede na bigyan ng rights ang pawnshop na ibenta yung gamit mo sa halaga na iprepresyo nila para mabawi yung principal na amount na kinuha mo na hindi mo mababayaran. So, good investment for as of today class is yung mga jewelries na kasi tumataas yung halaga nila. So, they keep on rising. So, kung meron ka naman yan na marami kang mga tinatago dyan, pwede mo munang gamitin yan. Pwede isang para makakuha ka ng exact amount na pwedeng na ipapang-invest mo, pang babayad ng franchising fee. So, depende. It's a matter of choice. Tawag natin na crowdsourcing. So, ang crowdsourcing class is an effective way to fund your franchise business. You might set up your crowdfunding page to talk towards specific organizations. So, but there's a deal. Crowdfunding class has the least assurance of success. It also takes so much time. So, if you're looking forward to paying the franchise fee and run the business immediately, you will need faster option. So, crowdsourcing, di siya madali. So, minsan pa nga, itong raising of funds, online, minsan maraming mga scammer na gumagawa o gumagaya. So, it takes also time kasi hindi naman siya agad-agad mapapaniwala yung mga tao that you're raising for the fund and you're doing this because of your purpose. So, sometimes, netizens will not understand about your intentions. Instead, mamamasamain ka pa. So, it takes time. Depending kung may mga organization na handang tumutulong para mabigyan ng fund yung fundraising mo. So, para makabuo ka ng amount na kakailanganin mo. But again, it takes really time. But if you want to run your business immediately, better look for another option. Not for the crowdsourcing. Okay? So, that's number 4. And the number 5 is the so-called online personal loans. On online personal loans, maraming open ngayon ng mga personal loans all over social media accounts. Marami. Pero, take also extra careful of this because maraming mga online personal loan, not only scammers, but yes, they can grant your personal loan, pero you have to be careful because there are a lot of personal loans agents na parang sisirain ka pag hindi ka makakabayad. And then mas mataas talaga yung mga interest nila doon. Tapos minsan pag hindi ka nakakabayad, ipopost ka sa Facebook. Tapos minsan naman may mga tumatawag sa iyo na mga threats, ng mga ganyan. So, careful lang din sa mga personal online personal loans. Kasi marami na ngayon naglilipahan sa social media. But then again, it's only a matter of your choice. This is only a ways or 5 ways to finance your franchise if you don't have that existing money that you need to pay your franchise business. So there are only 5 ways. Okay? So how to be a successful franchise? So that would be the next questions. So we get that first thing that you need to have in the funds to support the new business venture. But funds are not only factor to success. You should also have the right attitude to handle customer relations, or customer relationships and their complaints. Because to become a successful franchise, not only money that you need also the proper attitude, the proper attributes to be a successful one. So there are tips. The franchisor requires you to pay the royalty pay per annum. It's better to pay on time rather than lose the right to operate the business you just obtained. So, minsan may mga franchisor talaga na nagpapabayad sila per year. Itong tinatawag na per annum or per year na tinatawag nilang royalty fee class ay binabayaran per annum. Hindi mo mababayaran yung royalty fee na yan, pwedeng tanggalan ka nila ng rights na pagiging franchisee. So, ang hirap naman kung matanggalan ka ng franchisee, pinapangarap mo yan na ma-obtain mo yan na business franchise mo tapos bigla lang mawala, din sayang din. So, advice lang, this is a tip for a good franchisee that you need to pay the royalty fee on time rather than losing your business that you have just obtained or you have just run the business. So, that's the tip, being a successful franchisee. Next, be a problem solver. Do not be the problem cause. Again, be a problem solver. So we all know that the franchise business offers marketing and any other support that they can provide. So still, it takes someone to be problem solver to withstand the franchising business competition. And be also passionate and result driven. So for your final task, this is what you are going to do. First, you are going to look for the best top 10 franchise business in the Philippines. So there are a lot of franchise business offered in the Philippines, but you need to choose only at least 10. So the next question for your final task, how to franchise the business. So how to franchise the business. So on this part, we're going to talk what are the requirements. So try to look what are the requirements needed. What are the documents need to submit first? And what are the steps? How to franchise the business? So, i-step mo yan, isa-isahin mo yan kung ano yung mga kailangan. So, out of that top 10 best franchising business that you have found, you may choose only one. One company, one establishment, or one business that's included in the top 10. Then, the next question will follow, how to franchise the business. You will know what you are going to do because it needs some requirements to submit. What are the documents needed aside from your legal franchising? Because that legal agreement will come last after you submit the requirements. So what are the requirements needed? What are the documents to submit? And what are the steps to apply the franchise business? With that specific name of the business or company that you have chosen among the top 10. The next to do is to look how much is the cost if you are going to franchise that name of the business. You are going to buy the trade name, remember. So, try how much is the cost of that franchise business. How much is the franchising fee to obtain the trade name of that company. So, that is your second task. The next task, look who is the franchisor. So, you're going to research the name of the franchisor, how he decide to open that company, when was that company open, and where. So, in short, you are going to make a sort of description or business history. When was that open? How did they decide to come up with the business? Where was the first branch was located? Who is the name of the franchisor? This might be a solo or partnership or corporation. So try to give a short background of the company. Then next is to look what are the inclusion of the package that you franchise. So name it. So discuss it to me. So what are the inclusion of the packages? Include the franchise amount that you have paid. So there are how many? There are 5 tasks that you are going to need to submit these finals. So this is your final task. Again, you research the top 10 best franchising business. Then from that top 10, you choose one. Choose one. Then you are going to research how much is the cost to franchise the business, who is the owner. Then try to look also what are the requirements needed, what to submit to be grant para tanggapin ka nga mag-apply bilang isang franchisee. And then who is the franchisor, and try to give us the details what are the inclusion of the packages that you have purchased the trade name of the franchise business. So that would be your task for finals. And all these documents should be intact in one folder, and you have to submit that on December 12th. So before your vacation, you have to submit that your final task on December 12th. So I hope it is very clear to you what you are going to do for your finals. So if you have some question, please don't hesitate to call me, or you don't hesitate to chat me. I am willing to answer you anytime. So for your assignment class, please don't forget to comment down below and answer this question. The question is, what are the attributes to obtain to be a successful franchise? So what are the attributes need to obtain to be a successful franchise? Comment down your answer below, and of course, write your name and section for me to recognize and record your score. So that's it for today, class, and thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for listening with me. I hope the instruction for your final task is clear. So please don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, presentasyon.techbook.tv, for you to be updated and notified when every time that I'm going to upload a new video lesson. And please don't forget to hit that notification bell. So this has been your teacher, Mr. Malang Bernabe. Please keep safe, stay at home, and always feel beautiful and handsome. Thank you for watching.